The coup is complete. The channel is mine now, and Rusty Buckets is dead. My name is Rudy. I am the guy behind the camera most of the time and editing a lot of the videos. I'd say over 1,000 videos for Jacob pretty confidently I have edited, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But today, the channel is all mine because we are talking about the Grizzlies' downfall. I've compiled some tweets for you so you can get a full scope of this terrible, terrible situation where the Grizzlies' problem is basically that the vibes are off. The vibes are bad. You know, it's not really anything tangible. I know you might look at the stats and see Ja Morant shooting 15% from three or whatever it currently is and think that that's the problem. Or see the Jaws acting a fool and having bad body language and stuff, and that's the problem. But the problem is actually much simpler than really many are making it out to be. And I think the solution is a very easy one. But let's take some baby steps there first. The head coach, I thought it was Iasalo, but apparently it's Isalo. I don't know enough about Finnish to have a competent analysis of how to pronounce his name, but I don't think I'm going to have to know for very much longer because, spoiler alert, I think the coach is going to be gone way sooner than I think that Ja Morant is going to be out of Memphis. We got a video coming out later today about Jacob's view on the Ja Morant situation, the notion of trading Ja Morant specifically. So we're going to get into every other aspect of the Grizzlies' hellscape right now. First things first, like you might predict, the Grizzlies themselves aren't actually interested in trading Ja Morant or Jaren Jackson Jr., so all the little trade packages you're seeing everywhere are wishful thinking at best. You got to think for a market that's so small to have a guy that's routinely top 10 or top 20 in jersey sales in the NBA or whatever, that's more valuable than, say, having a rookie analytics-driven head coach with minimal NBA experience. Per Chris Mannix, going full rebuild may be out of the question, and Grizzlies don't want to do that. They believe Morant/Jaren Jackson Jr. tandem is the foundation of a contender. I believe that too, and it's not just because I'm a fan, but because they're both really fucking good and pretty compatible players. They believe that a return to health, Memphis already has been decimated with injuries, will lead to wins. This isn't a team looking to sell Morant, it's one looking to use the assets it has, including a bag of first-round picks acquired from Orlando in the Desmond Bane trade last summer to add pieces around him. And I don't even know if we really need to add pieces around him. I mean, we need a backup center because right now Jock Landale is our superstar. He's fucking Steph Curry this season for some reason. But I think that's more of a byproduct of the coaching system in place where we're prioritizing optimizing Jock Landale over prioritizing the optimization of Jaren Jackson Jr. or Ja Morant. And like you've seen it, everyone's seen it. Ja Morant is visibly irritated, visibly not putting in the effort that you expect out of a pro athlete on the court. And I think it's for good reason. Him and Jaren are barely playing minutes at all. This is a quick look at Jaren's minutes, 28.8 minutes a game when we're losing. It's not like we're the Warriors and we're blowing guys out and benching everyone before the fourth quarter starts. These are all NBA caliber guys legitimately getting less than 30 minutes on a team decimated by injuries. Look at Ja's numbers. He's getting 20 points a game right now and has only missed one free throw all year, but he's not getting to the rim. He's definitely not making his threes. 14%. I mean, that's just insane. And getting exactly 30 minutes a game, meaning prior to last night, he was under 30 minutes a game. Basically, since that Lakers game where he threw a fit, Ja Morant has shot under 33% in 3 straight games for the first time in his career. Really a all-time low for Ja. I mean, he was literally getting more playing time as a rookie, being more efficient as a rookie. This is actually the worst Ja Morant we've ever seen. And it's not because he's injured like he's been so much throughout his career, but because he's just disengaged. He just doesn't want to win under this coach. I don't think it has anything to do with Memphis or his ties to the organization. He's always sent signals that he's loyal to Memphis and continues to send those signals even through this, though they are underreported. The one thing he actually seems bought out on is the coaching staff. And it's not just him, it's Jaren Jackson as well. Jaren literally took 1 shot in the first half last night, had no points. I think he finished with 2 points or something crazy. It was literally a single-digit performance. But him and Ja have been very close since the beginning of their career, not just as teammates, but seemingly as friends. And so I think they are unified on this, where they do not like Coach Isalo. Ja Morant and Coach Isolo are reportedly barely speaking during games. Quote, Memphis, much like Houston, is also in the process of learning a new system, but Morant's body language, which was lacking at a somber morning shoot-around, was off all evening. Outside of a mini briefing midway through the fourth quarter and with the game already out of reach, Morant didn't speak to Isolo. During timeouts, Morant would be off to himself at either end of the bench, swimming in his own thoughts. There were no reassuring handshakes or taps from Isolo whenever Morant was subbed out. The tension palpable within FedEx Forum. And it's not even just within the forum. It's on TV. It bleeds through the screen. Everyone can see that the coach and the best players on the team don't see eye to eye. Jaren Jackson Jr. is, this is a DeMichael Cole tweet. Shout out to DeMichael Cole. He's one of the best journalists in Memphis that's covering the Grizzlies. Jaren Jackson Jr. is attempting his lowest field goal attempts per game since his rookie season. Hey, less than 26 minutes per game, as in, hold on. No way that's right. Jaren Jackson, through 9 games, playing 28.8 minutes, shooting 11.7 shots a night. Yeah, that's the fewest since his rookie season. I get what he's trying to say. Coach Isolo says that he has to be more aggressive, wants him to get more touches. We need him to score if we want to win, so he's got to score. Well, you got to put him in position to score. You got to let him get a feel for the game, see a couple buckets go in, and, you know, get a little bit of momentum, get a little bit of that hot hand. Maybe leave him out there for more than 5 minutes at a time. When Coach Isolo was asked why Jaren is shooting less, he said his true shooting percentage is the highest that it's been in his whole career. I think, you know, maybe if you haven't picked up on it, there's a particular theme here. There's a very specific problem that keeps coming up. And it's that our head coach is a fucking dork. He's a total analytics geek. Yes, he's an ex-pro baller, but not like at an NBA level. He's like a modestly successful EuroLeaguer, very successful EuroLeague head coach. I know he got a championship over there. But his attitude and like fetishization of stats and analytics is in a good place. I like to think his heart and mind is in the right spot, but I don't think he's really applying the other coaching principles very well. Like, he's clearly a very talented assistant coach in the NBA. I think that is a valuable role to have someone obsessed with analytics responding to questions like this. Like, that's a guy you want helping you out, not leading the team, not having authority over Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. And, you know, Jaren similarly checked out to Ja. Like, he's not getting quite the flack that Ja is because he's not as famous as Ja, even though he's probably the better player. They're both very similar caliber, but I think for a couple of years now, Jaren has actually been the best player in Memphis, as much as I love Ja Morant. When asked if he's confident that he can get back to his old offensive version of himself over the last 2 seasons while playing within this new offense, he said he's very confident. So that's not necessarily a outright like, oh, I'm not confident at all, this coach is bad. Like, he didn't say that because, you know, that's a bad look. And look how much flack Ja Morant got for even alluding to disagreeing with the coaching staff. But that's the thing. I don't think these guys are just washed. I think they're just literally not bought into the system. They're not engaged with the game. It's not that they're not trying per se, but they just don't feel motivated to do the things that they're supposed to do, because traditionally, when you're really good, especially in the NBA, you get more playing time. And what the coach of the Grizzlies is asking the players to do is to accept less playing time and play harder while they're out there. He wants short, high energy stints, which is like the equivalent of asking people to work harder for less pay. You know, like, you got done with your task for the day and you're on an hourly wage, go home. Like, that's not a good incentive structure. These guys are playing career low minutes, basically. Ja Morant specifically, actually. And there doesn't seem to like be a path out of it. There's no way to get out of the rotation world where you're only playing 30 minutes max per game. Ja Morant's first game playing, or really any Grizzly's first game playing more than 33 minutes in a game, or 33 or more minutes in a game, was the game where Ja came back from suspension, where he played exactly 34, basically. So, like, basically no one is getting that much playing time, even if you're an elite player, and it's because the coach believe in optimizing the rotation for your best players. He wants it to be optimized for everyone. That's why Jock Londale looks like our best fucking player. That's why Cam Spencer can be our best player last night against Houston. When I saw this quote, I crashed out. I threw a fit. I said, I'm over it. This guy is done. There's just no coming back from this. DeMichael said when he asked Coach Isolo about starting Cedric Coward, our rookie who's been excellent, like crazy good, absolutely worthy of a starting role right now. He said it's a lot of words that he's unable to transcribe right now. And then when he finally got to the transcription, I read it and this is what it says. Yes, of course. You always give that consideration. We think about that with all of our players. Pause. You think about the prospect of starting all of the players, like all 17 guys get consideration at a starting spot. That seems overly optimistic. We try not to optimize for any individual player. What we try to do is build those lineups for the whole 48 minutes. A lot of times it doesn't make sense to have, for example, all of your best on-ball creators in the same lineup. I think Cedric Coward's done an unbelievable job for us as a rookie, especially the poise he's played with coming off the bench, the productivity. Every time he stepped off the court, he's given us a spark on the court, and we feel like that has suited him very well up to this point. Also, his minutes have been steadily going up because of his overall impact. I think that's the more important thing than like who is starting and who is not, just how those minutes are allocated. Now, like while 90% of this is agreeable, that 10% that's not agreeable, like really fucks up the whole thing because you're talking about not optimizing for any individual player. What if you have an individual player who is one of the absolute best basketball players on earth, not in the league, not on the court in any given night, on earth? I know overseas, you're not going to be coaching anyone who's a top 20 to 50 basketball player on earth. But in the NBA, you have the rare opportunity to do such a thing. And if you fail to optimize around this true talent, then this like overly optimistic egalitarian philosophy just doesn't actually stack up wins. Like this sort of thinking is like really good in the real world and super productive. But in sports, where dominance is the thing that actually matters rather than like what is good, then dominating is what you should be trying to do. And when you have dominant forces, you should use them to dominate. And John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. are dominant enough forces to warrant getting more than 30 minutes a game. This should be 16 minutes with only one of them on the court, 16 minutes with only the other on the court, and 16 minutes with both of them on the court. We don't have Desmond Bane anymore, so we can't just have like two superstars, two stars, whatever, two very, very good NBA players on the court at the same time anymore as often. But we can go 48 minutes while always having a top 20 NBA player on the floor. If you disagree with John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. being 20, whatever, top 30, who cares? The very, very, very best of the best. This quote is woke nonsense. Grizzlies' next 9 games versus the Mavericks, versus the Thunder, at Knicks, at Celtics, at Cavs, at Spurs, versus Kings, at Mavs, versus Nuggets. I think we maybe got 3 wins here. Maybe. I don't think the coach makes it out past this window. I don't think we're going to have the same head coach by Christmas. I really hope that we go out and get Mike Malone. That's what I really, really want. I'll take Tibbs. Very, very grit and grind guy, if you will, you know? Wouldn't that just be like a hand in a glove? But Mike Malone is actually the best fit. I would love Mike Malone on this team. And here's the thing. If Isolo gets fired, we might see a regime change. Now, ownership is very, very bought in on Kleiman. He's very young. He's been very successful, but also had his shortcomings. But there is a lot invested in Isolo from this front office. Last year, not this past summer, but the one before, when he was brought in along with Noah LaRoche and like 5 to 7 other assistant coaches to completely wipe out everyone underneath Taylor Jenkins on the coaching staff. At that point, I think Kleiman kind of already wanted Isolo to be the successor to Taylor Jenkins, which is why we didn't even have like a coaching search. Like we didn't interview anyone. We just said, yep, you were the interim for a few games. You looked okay. Go out there, take over. We believe in you. We're dorks who love numbers. You're a dork who loves numbers. Nothing can go wrong. And there's this really ominous clip of Isolo on a podcast from when he was a head coach over in Europe, where he specifically addresses the idea of calling out players in front of the rest of the team. He specifically says, yeah, we do it in front of the whole team. What's the worst thing that can happen? Someone's going to be a little sad for a little while, have a little bit of an attitude, and then we're going to win some more basketball games. Guess what? Sometimes you got guys like John Morant on your team who have enough pull in the universe to where when they have a bad attitude, it radiates throughout the team and like creates news cycles about whether or not this guy is going to be on the team next week or not, or like what does the trade package to get him in LA look like or whatever. Like, part of being an NBA head coach is not just understanding basketball and strategy, but it's also leadership and the locker room and motivation, like being able to corral these egos in a way that results in good competition and wins is way more difficult than going, well, actually, Jaren Jackson's true shooting percentage is at an all-time high right now, even though he's not fucking shooting the ball. Yeah, we're losing all the time. You know, like I don't think liberating Santi Aldama to be the guy who's carrying our team is a winning strategy. I'm sorry. I love socialism, but like socialism to this degree with this team is not going to fucking work. We're not the beautiful game Spurs where Ja is about to be Tim Duncan and take a step back in the late stages of his career at age 26. Like, what the fuck? And that's the worst thing, is that this team is really good. This is a really good team, decimated by injuries. That's the word of the day, is decimated. And if we had Edie, we had Brandon Clark, we had Scottie Pippen Jr., we had Ty Jerome, we would be way deeper. Our lineups would be way better, and we would be winning way more games. But probably not as many games as we're supposed to be winning, because I don't trust this coach to optimize these players to succeed at the highest level. Like, if the leader in the locker room that's not the coach, aka the best players, like if those guys aren't bought into the system that you're preaching, then it's going to fall on deaf ears across the board. You can't have 9/10 of the guys bought in when your central gear in your machine doesn't have any teeth, you know? Like, it's not going to fucking work. Like, even if we do trade Ja, like let's say the franchise makes a mistake and chooses a rookie head coach over the best thing to ever happen to the Grizzlies in Ja Morant. They trade him to where the fuck ever, and we end up getting one of the top 3 guys in this draft and rebuild and restart and da-da-da-da. We're just going to repeat the same cycle. I don't trust this franchise if that's the direction we're heading in. And like, it doesn't take rocket science to know that this super stacked short rotation strategy is like not going to work in the NBA. These guys have been playing basketball a certain way their whole fucking life, and they're not going to stop on a dime and start doing this high energy, low minute bullshit. They want to be rewarded with more playing time. And instead, you're taking it away and asking more of them while you're doing it. Of course, they're going to back like, no, that's a bad idea. It's good on paper. It's bad in practice. Yeah, it's so bad that it's got me like actually starting to believe in astrology, because Zodiac GM just like breaks down this shit and those sorts of terms, and all of a sudden everything makes sense to me, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great theory. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant was I guess mocking T Morant, saying that Ja doesn't want to be here. He does want to be here, but he doesn't want to be under Coach Isolo. So I don't think the guy is going to last another 2 weeks. Thanks for watching this video. Shout out to me for editing it, and goodbye.
If y'all watch basketball, it's pretty much you got to give them space. Like, we play in space. We don't have no space. We're not making enough shots, so guys able to pack the paint and shift a lot. I don't know if y'all dissect basketball like that or not, or y'all just look at the shot attempts. But you watch the game, you will see why. There's not enough space. We got to make more shots and open up the floor for them.
Just, John, is the easiest thing in terms of trying to create space? Is it more of a thing of the players around you, or how do you think that's the best way?
It's all of us. You know, I got to do my job first, and that's put pressure on the defense, and then my teammates do the rest, and then from there, it come back to me, make the right decision. So, start with me.
How important is it maintaining the confidence and trying to get out of this streak right now? You guys had some wins earlier this season, but get back on that track.
Just turn the page. Come in tomorrow, have a good day of practice, watch the film, go over things we need to correct. Guys speak their mind, coaches speak their mind, and be ready to go for the next game.